Hello viewers, welcome to Educative Hub. So in our previous videos we have learned what is matter, its classifications and characteristics of particles of matter. So today we are going to learn about states of matter. So when we observe different types of matter around us, we can see different states of matter. But why there are different states of matter? Because the states of matter arise due to the variation in the characteristics of particles of matter. Now let us study about the properties of these states of matter in detail. So there are three states of matter. One is solid, other is liquid and the next one is gas. The matter around us will exist in any of these three forms only. Either it will be solid, liquid or gas. Now we will study in detail about solid. What are solids? When we have learned about the characteristics of particles of matter, we learned that particles of matter have space in between them. In case of solid, the particles of matter are tightly packed. So the solid substances are very rigid. That means they are very strong and they have a definite shape and distinct boundaries and fixed volumes. Like solid may break under force, but it is very difficult to change their shape because the molecules of the solid are tightly packed. Here the molecules of particles have higher forces of attraction between them and we cannot mix two types of solid. They can't diffuse in themselves. For example, when we try to mix sugar and sand, they may not mix completely. We can still see the difference, like sugar particles and sand particles will be different. This is because the diffusion rate in solid is very less. And when we try to compress the solids, we cannot compress them much. If we take a wooden particle, it is very strong, so we cannot compress it because the molecular spaces in between the solids is very less, that the compressibility of solid is very negligible. Next we are going to learn about liquids. So liquids are the substances which have a fixed volume but they don't have a fixed shape, like water. It have a fixed volume but it don't have a fixed shape. It will take up the shape of the container in which they are kept. And liquids flow and change the shape of them. And the rate of diffusion of liquid is higher than that of solid. Let me explain with an example. See, the aquatic animals like fishes, they can breathe underwater. That is because due to the presence of dissolved oxygen in water, they can take breath of the dissolved oxygen in water. That means gases are diffused in water and liquids also can diffuse in water. Like for an example, we can take a colored water into the normal water. When we mix them both, or a sugared solution and the water, when we mix them both, they both will mix completely. That means the sugar water is getting diffused into the normal water. So liquid shows a higher diffusion rate than that of a solid. And coming to the compressibility of liquid, liquids are more compressible than solid because the molecules of liquid are not that much tightly packed like solids. They have more spaces in between them and the molecules continuously move inside a liquid. So it is a little bit easier to compress liquid than that of a solid. Now coming to gases, they don't have a fixed shape and fixed volume. They are not rigid. Like gas molecules will move freely in the atmosphere. Here gases are very highly compressible in nature because gas molecules have large number of spaces in between them. Like for example, when we take the gas cylinders that is used for cooking, liquid petroleum gas, the LPG cylinders which we are using, in those gases are very highly compressed and kept inside the cylinder, which make it easier to store large amount of gases in small volumes, and it is very easier to transport the gases, and the diffusion rate of gas is very high than solids and liquids. This is because due to the high speed of particles in the gases and large amount of spaces between them, gases shows the property of diffusing very fast into other gases. Like for example, when we take an incense stick, we will light it in a corner of the room, but the smell, we can feel it all over the room within a fraction of seconds. This is because the rate of diffusion is higher in gases, and the molecules move very faster from one place to another. When we observe this picture, this is how the particles of matter look like in each states of matter. And these are the basic differences and the comparisons between the states of matter. Thank you.